Hey, what's up, everybody? Day 96, and this is a landmark day for me because this is 100 pounds lost today. Um, and 96 days. I haven't done the 100 pounds within that time frame, but the 96 days represents when I started this journey, of course, a little over 3 months ago, and got really serious about it. And that's when I started training with a personal trainer and all that stuff. Um, and so that's the mark for the 90 days. My journey has really started. Um, I would say probably close to a year. Yeah, because I was on and off, and then finally got serious with it around May of this year, and then. And just been plugging away since. So the journey's taken a long time. The 100 pounds represents my heaviest at 365, um, uh, and where I am at now is at 265. So that's how I base my weight loss total so far, because I think that when you're at your worst, which for me was with 365. You couldn't get any worse than that. So to me, that was a starting point, and then so any achievement since then or whatever is accounted within that 100 pound loss. But within the last few months, that is when I've lost. It's close to 100. I would say it was probably close. We're probably closer to the 80, 75, 80 pounds since since I got serious with it. So, but anyways, I'm excited about that 100 pounds for my heaviest. I posted on Facebook that at that weight, at 365, I could never have imagined um, losing that much. And Or even losing 20 pounds, let alone 100 pounds. So I can't even tell you. I mean, if you can even fathom, um, or you may even know some of you who are heavy and are extremely heavy. And I was morbidly obese, and I'm probably still within the morbid, or not the morbid range, anyways. But I'm probably still in the obese range, because I've still got a lot more to lose. I say 40 pounds because I'm exactly 40 pounds to my goal weight, but that doesn't mean that that's where it stops. Obviously, now if I go by the charts that they want me to go by, this frame can't. I can't be at 165 or some crazy shit. But anyways, um, yeah, so I would be happy with my goal weight. I would ultimately be happy 215, maybe 205. Goal weight's 225. So, but yeah, if I dip below, then that'd be great. I can't imagine even being what I weighed in, when I finished high school was 185. I can't imagine that. But I mean, who knows? I mean, that could happen. So. Um, Uh, Sorry for the mess back here. This is my office catch-all room. The rest of the apartment doesn't look like that at all. But yeah, this place is kind of where all my office stuff gets set. So, any case, um, yeah, I just wanted to. People are always asking me how you're doing it or how whatever, and I've addressed this in the other videos and whatnot. But um, first thing that you guys need to do, if you're serious about this and you want to do it, is you have to find out what your daily caloric intake is supposed to be. It's a formula. There's a lot of calculators out there online. Excuse me. There's a lot of calculators out there online. I may even pre, uh, put a link to one of those sites. The Mayo Clinic is where one of the sites is, and so I pull that off of there, and it's a formula that it bases off your age, your height, your weight, of course, and your activity level. So if you're sedentary, or if you're, if you're somewhat active, or, it takes all those things into into consideration. Sorry. And it gives you what your daily caloric intake should be. And that number is basically the number that you would need to maintain your current weight. So if it gives you the number, I'm just throwing a number out there, 1,500 calories per day, okay, and you weigh, let's just go with me. If you weigh 265 and it says your daily caloric intake is 1,500, okay, if I want to keep that weight, I'll eat 1,500 pounds or 1,500 calories per day. Now, if I wanted to gain weight, of course, you're going to have to exceed that. But the point is that not to gain weight, so you want to be in a deficit. So that's below that number. So if you eat below that number, you should lose weight. Now, add exercise onto that, adds onto that deficit. So it takes away calories. So if you think of those terms, it's simple. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's not complicated or anything. It's pretty straightforward. Calories in, calories out. Now, there's a lot more to it, but that's the basic program, basic level. And that's how I started out. I started out with shakes, morning and for breakfast and lunch, and then a sensible dinner. Which really hasn't really changed that much, except for my lunch and my breakfast, because I'm eating actual foods now. But it's a good starting point if you want to start off with those shakes for breakfast and lunch, because it again I'm repeating some of the stuff that I've said in other videos, but it's a good starting point with those shakes, because one, it gets you all the nutrients you need, that that you're getting your proteins, your carbs, all that stuff all in one drink, okay, and it gets your appetite to get used to just eating a small portion or smaller portions, okay. Now, in the long run, you want to cut those out. You want to start eating regular food, because that's you're not going to live your life eating or drinking shakes all the time. But that's a good starting point. So if you want to start the shakes, I would condone it. I mean, it worked for me. Now, not everybody's the same, but again, the people who are having problems, there's something that you're missing or not doing right, or and there has to be some accountability and some responsibility for some of the things that you do, and you have to be honest with yourself. A lot of people that I know are, they shake their head and they, I don't understand, I'm not doing it. And then, they go out to a fast food restaurant and think that because they order a Diet Coke and and not such a large fries, that they've done themselves some good. And yeah, I guess they're not eating as much. That's the only good that you're getting out of that. But outside of that, you're still killing your body with all the cholesterol and everything else that is in that. And then you get people who skip their meals, and which is you're better off going to McDonald's or going to a fast food restaurant and eating shitty, as opposed to not eating at all. Skipping your meals is one of the worst things that you can do ever. And there's a scientific reason for that. But let me just tell you, it's a bad thing. I mean, you want to look it up online. The reason why you shouldn't skip your meals. It's that simple, and I'll explain it to you. Because eventually, what you want is your body to burn food, and when it doesn't have food to burn, then it starts attacking your muscles and all that stuff. So you don't want that. What you want to do is make sure that you're eating something. Now, if it's going to be crappy, then it's going to be crappy. But you don't want to skip a meal. You can't say, "Oh, I've got no time." That's just ridiculous. That's just the most insane, ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my entire life. that just means that you're not preparing yourself. You're not preparing your meals. You're not doing something. Again, if you're going to be into this, you have to be in it completely. There's no, oh, I'm going to do this, but then I'll take off on this a little bit. No, it has to be complete. Do you want to lose 100 pounds or not? I mean, if you don't, then you're just not going to do the things that you need to do. And, you know, I want to tell people that, you know, how to lose the weight, but ultimately that desire or whatever is going to have to it's going to have to come from them. I can't give them that, you know, and it really just comes down to how bad you really want it. I mean, there's just no other. I can't tell you. I mean, I wanted it bad. I wanted it. I got to a point in my life where my body I felt like it was shutting down on me. And I'm 44, you know, and there's, I don't hide that, but I'm 44 years old, and I was on a collision course with all the problems that my parents had, you know, diabetes, heart problems, strokes, and that's not to say that I'm not gonna maybe run into those later in the future, but what I'm doing now is trying to prevent that. So I'm doing something preventative. Now, some of you can. Sorry, some of you can go on and just throw your hands up in the air and say, well, that's just the way it is. No, it's not. It's not the way that you're supposed to be. You're not a hopeless case. You're not, you know, whatever. You gotta take it. You gotta go want it. I mean, if there's something that you want really bad enough, you're gonna go get it. You know, if there's a job you want bad enough, you're gonna go get that job. You know, you'll do anything to get that job. Why won't you do the same for your health? You know, why won't you do the same to prolong your life here for your kids, for your grandkids, for anybody, for your spouse, for yourself? You know, this world can be shitty sometimes, but I don't want to die. You know, scares me. But and I'm only 44, dude. I've got plenty of time left on this earth. But had I kept going the way I was going, I don't know if I would have made it to 50. I really, it was that bad. And I look at some of my before and after pictures now, and it's scary. It really is. I mean, because I was at a place where I thought that was just me. That was just how it's going to be. My parents were kind of overweight. I mean, well, no, they were overweight, so I kind of succumbed to, well, maybe that's just the way I'm supposed to be. You know, but that's so far from the truth. It's not even funny. It's this is the way I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be shrinking. I'm supposed to be a smaller, you know, frame. I'm not supposed to be the big guy. I was tired of that. I was tired of being the jovial, you know, guy, and, you know, fat guy, or, you know, whatever, everybody's friend. And, you know, I mean, I'm glad to be everybody's friend, but it's just, it gets annoying to, you know, where it's like, oh, that's our fat guy friend. And, you know, and my buddies, my best friends, that, you know, they're for my friends, and they don't, you know, people tease each other or whatever, and, you know, my closest friends will, you know, they would have teased me about me being overweight and whatnot. So I want to take that away from them. I want to, you know, I don't want to give them that. I'm tired of hearing the fat jokes. I'm tired of, you know, not being able to climb in my buddy's car because it's too low to the ground, or, you know, or he has to push me out of the car to get me out of the car. So it's, yeah. So it's not real hard. It's pretty simple. Again, there's a lot more to it. Again, drink a lot of water. Make sure your sodium counts are low. I kept mine at 1500 or below 1500. And you'll be surprised how much stuff out there has high sodium. So when you're out shopping or you're reading labels, make sure you look at that label, that sodium portion. And then make sure you look at labels where it says low sodium, and then compare, you know, because I'll be one to tell you, some of the name brand stuff that says low sodium is look at the store brand compared to the name brand, okay? And look at the labels, and I will almost guarantee you 9 times out of 10 the store brand's sodium count will be better than the name brand. It's just been my experience. It's when I go shopping, I look at the labels. I'm reading the labels all the time now. I don't just throw things in my in my cart. The days of SpaghettiOs and rice, those are done. Days of whole cans, a whole can of beef stew. I'm talking like not the little can of Dinty Moore or whatever. It'd be the big family size can, and rice by myself. That was a meal, one meal. Okay, those days are gone. Ramen, gone. I still have it, and it's a temptation every once in a while just because it's easy and whatever, but it's so high in sodium, it's not even funny. That would be one of those would be like my entire sodium day count for the day. And that's just not happening. So it can be done. Like I posted on Facebook, it's trite and it's overused or whatever. But if I can do it, you can do it. I promise you. Because I was so far gone, I thought there was no way that I could do it. There's no way that 100 pounds was even attainable. I've tried hundreds of times, but when I look back and I'm honest with myself, I didn't really try. I didn't really try. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I did back then. It matters now what I've achieved, what I've gone through, what I'm going to continue to achieve from here going forward. Just another. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. If you're even watching this, for you subscribers who pay attention to it and who have liked my videos before. And thank you to everybody on Facebook who, whenever I post my weight losses or whatever, to me it's my viral, but it always hits close to 150 likes, and people will always type in some very kind words and some very motivational things, and believe me, that helps. So again, if you guys are wanting to get on this journey, post away on Facebook. You'll be surprised how many people will back you up and may even want to join the journey with you. There have been plenty of people that say, hey, you're motivating me to do my thing, and that's awesome. That's what I want. I want you guys to feel what I'm feeling right now, and to be 100 pounds less. And I can't even begin to tell you how much easier it is for me to walk. I work out now. I'm on the treadmill 2.5 miles, no big deal, and that's on intervals. So what I'm doing basically is jogging the hills and walking the flats, and it's hard. And I'm on the highest incline on the treadmill. Okay, I'm not 0.5 or whatever 1.0. None of that crap. I'm up on the highest level. Either the treadmills here, I think is a 5 is the highest, but it's pretty steep. And then at the gym, I think I can set it to a 10 or whatever, and I'll be almost straight up. But those inclines are key as far as burning fat and whatnot, because you'll sweat, trust me. And but start off slow, start off easy. And eventually you'll work your way up, because there was a time that I couldn't even remotely do. I couldn't even jog. I couldn't even walk very fast. I was at a 2.5 or something like that, 2.3 when I first started out, which is it's just a crawl, on a treadmill now. So yeah, but that's okay though. I mean, if you look back and where I am now, I mean, that's how I started out. I couldn't even walk. I get winded and just as long as I told myself don't quit, then I wouldn't. So, but anyways, again, I thank you for all my support and my continued support from everybody, and pressing forward. This journey is not going to end here. It's not going to end at my goal weight. At that point, it becomes another journey of maintaining. But I'm looking forward to that. I'm also needing I'm probably going to need some some skin reduction or some skin removal pretty soon, because it's getting gross actually. But I mean, if you can tell though, I mean, if that was a way, there you go. Anyways, so. Oh, and here's my new tat. Look at that. Anyways, so I digress. And so that's it. I guess for until the next time. Again, I'm trying to do these a week at a time. Sorry, it's 20 minutes now again. And I haven't. Sorry if I run long and I've lost you probably through my rants. But again, since I'm doing these a week at a time, then and I've got a lot to say. So hope it's useful. Please subscribe if you like my videos. If it helps you out, tell people about it. Spread the word. And I guess that's it. Can't stop, won't stop. Peace.